Hi everyone, welcome to today's Tasty Tuesday episode. Are you cheating or treating yourself? We'll just give a few minutes for the room to fill up, for people to come here, for everything to sort itself out on the algorithms and on the online platforms, and also for me to make sure that I am actually live and being able to be heard. If you are tuning in already, please say hello. And let me know if you can hear me. You can give me a thumbs up or say yes. And yeah, let me know you're here. I'd love to hear from you. Also, let me know where you're viewing from today. Where's your viewing location? Let me know. I would be happy to hear that, because it's always nice to be taken all around the world by these little realities of finding out where people are. So I see that I am online and everything is good. Give it just another minute to see who's going to be joining us live today. If you're watching on the replay, feel free to type hashtag replay and also tell me your name and where you're viewing from, because as I just said, I would love to know where you're from. I've traveled a lot through my life and I am very grateful for that. And yeah, I have a lot of connection to a lot of different places. So I'd love to hear from you and know if I've been there before, connect with that. And also it's always interesting because we can learn from each other about different foods and different things from regions and information. And there's different tips that are more applicable to people that live in different parts of the world. So definitely let me know if you're here. I'd love to hear from you and to be able to connect with you. So we're going to get started, I guess. So I don't want to keep the people who are here watching, keep watching me ramble on. That's never fun. I know I've seen those kind of videos before too, and I always think, come on, get on with it. So here we are. Let's go. Let's get on track. So yes, today, Tuesday, Tasty Tuesday episode. I don't know how many numbers this is. And here my cat's coming in here, which she's not supposed to be. I was hoping that she would be fine, which is interesting. Actually, I'm going to make a post that reminds me on Facebook in the near future about Reiki and pets, because she's had some issues recently and the Reiki that I've been able to give to her has helped tremendously. So I'm going to put a post on that in the near future. So yes, are you cheating or treating yourself? Welcome to today's episode. Give you a little bit of intro about myself first, in case you are not familiar with who I am or where I'm from or what I'm about. My name is Lori Voss Furukawa. And yes, that second last name of mine is of Japanese origin. It's because I lived there for a couple years. I met my husband there. So I'm originally from Canada. I studied education in university in Canada, and then I decided to take that education that I had and move to Japan with it and teach English there. I taught children specifically. Also in Canada, I worked mostly with children, and I love the innocence that children have and what they bring forward, and being able to help plant the seeds and shape them with different types of wisdom as well. And also we have a lot to learn from children too. It's not only teaching them. We always have an opportunity to learn. Everybody in our life is teachers, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, so then I lived in Japan for a couple years, taught English there, and I then moved to China with my husband, and I taught English there for a couple years, not very long, and I shifted to basically a self-healing journey, and I started learning traditional Chinese medicine, which I was grateful to have access to there, because actually, surprisingly, it's not that common to find study opportunities within China on specifically traditional Chinese medicine, never mind ones that are conducted in English. So I was very grateful to have that opportunity. And then I also studied Reiki, yoga, theta healing, intrinsic energy work, and also integrated healing dynamics. Those are the things that I studied specifically for myself, but I also had lots of other healing alternative medicines and modalities that were helping me as well. And I have basically took the best of the packages that helped transform my life and the best of the different modalities that I've been working with. And I'm here to support you. Every Tuesday I come live and give this free transmission and give you free information that is available for you, as long as you're on our Facebook group, or you follow me on YouTube. Also, you can just search my name, Lori Voss Furukawa, and you can find any of my YouTube videos that I do. They're all available there for you to watch as well for free. And yeah, I wish that you enjoy these videos and are inspired to make healthy lifestyle choices. That's really why I want to come here. And And also, I have all this amazing information that I have learned and had the opportunity to learn through my travels. And I'm providing it for you without you having to go to those places. You don't have to go to China or Tibet or to India to practice or to have these opportunities to learn the wisdom and the knowledge. I'm here to share that with you, because that's how powerful and this amazing shift that I received in my life by implementing and learning these things, that I am here to show you that these results are also possible for you, and I'm making them accessible. Like I said, you don't have to be going off to study in China, although you could if you want, but I'm here to provide them for you. And yeah, I'm so grateful for that opportunity. So thank you for being here. And now, on to our long weekend. I hope I don't step on my cat. She's just right underneath me here. Oh, she's a funny little one. So yes, how was your Easter long weekend? Did you have a long weekend where you live? How is it? Let me know. Here in Germany, or specifically in the area that we live in, Bavaria, we had Friday was off and Monday was also a holiday. I know in the Philippines, for example, they have Thursday and Friday off. Also, I believe in Mexico, maybe they have Thursday and Friday off. The places like Canada, I think we had. It's weird. I was talking with my sister and she said for her work, they don't classify it as a holiday, so they still had to go to work on Monday. But it is a holiday, so I'm not really sure how that even works anymore in Canada, to be honest, or in some other places. So again, let me know in the comments, how is it where you live? Did you have Easter long weekend, or is it classified as a different holiday depending on where you're viewing from and where you're living? Do you have that? Or maybe there was nothing at all. I know in Japan they don't celebrate Easter at all because it's not a Christian state there, or it's not Muslim, or it's also not Jewish, so they don't have any of that there. And pretty soon in Japan, actually, you have something called Golden Week, which is coming up. I have to just, hey, sweetheart, don't get like that. You're sitting in my foot space. Hey, you're not even supposed to be in the kitchen, let's be honest. So anyways, yeah, let me know, how was your weekend? And as I mentioned in last week's episode about how to navigate through holidays and festivities, it doesn't have to be that it's an Easter long weekend or that you're celebrating specifically this religious holiday or this belief. It can be any regular weekend that we have opportunities to kind of go off track and be faced with, outings, events, birthday celebrations, all kinds of different things, or holidays. All these different things can kind of have the opportunity to throw us off track. When we have a day-to-day, usually Monday to Friday, we're having a routine. We wake up, we do our things, we go to work, or we have, that regular schedule that is in our life. And then it's easier to fit in the things that will serve us. But when we're faced with holidays or different things like this, we have an easier time to get off track, because now all of a sudden there's a whole different display of food in front of us available, or, chocolate Easter eggs, for example, or chocolate treats at this time of year is very abundant in the supermarkets as well. So even if it's not in your home, you see it at the supermarkets, and being able to navigate those things. And it's more intense on these times of years, or this time of year, when we have to navigate through that. So last week's episode, I mentioned some tips about how to line ourselves up before we get to those holiday events or before we get to those occasions. If you didn't view it, you can take a look. It's still on the Facebook page. And also you can take a look on my personal YouTube page, which is just my name, Lori Voss Furukawa. You can find the videos there because I also upload them there. It gives the tips, like I say, how to think about navigating when we're lining up to go to these kinds of things. So we do it like a preliminary support space kind of thing for ourselves that we make. So you might notice I'm a little bit stuffed up today. I apologize if I have a little bit of a cough or nasal congestion. I have a little bit of allergy issues going on outside right now. All the beautiful trees are blooming, the apple trees, the pears, the plums, all these beautiful flowering trees. They're so gorgeous, but I'm confident that's what's causing this little bit of a backlog here. It's okay. I manage without any medicine, but it does sometimes, sounding coming out, especially when I'm talking lots. I'll notice it in my voice and notice it having to clear my throat to get everything in the right working order. So what did you do on the long weekend? Did you have a long weekend? How was it? How did you feel? Did you have a challenge with the food that was placed in front of you or the things that were in your space? What was going on for you? Or were you on holidays? How was that? Were you able to still eat and maintain? How did you navigate through that? How did it go? Kind of just checking in today. I want to do a little bit of a kind of like I feel like a check-in class today, or a check-in episode, although I do have some tips coming up shortly. Give you a little bit about my weekend. So it was a bit of a mixed up as well. My husband is here at the moment. He's generally working out of the city that we live in, but he's here for the Easter holidays, and then he also took some holidays, so he has a few extra days off. I keep looking down to make sure my cat's not there as I shift my feet. I don't want to step on her if I don't have to. It's not nice for anyone. So basically, everything has been shifted up and turned around in my life, and basically, I'm not by my family. My husband's family is also not here. We are not particularly religious in terms of going to church and having that kind of aspect in our life and having a big Easter dinner or celebrating in that way. If I'm with my family in Canada, I absolutely do participate in those activities and we always have an Easter celebration with our family members together and have a big feast and get together and enjoy very much. But here in Germany, where I currently live, we don't have that opportunity to be surrounded by family. So I do my best from the last 17 years of living outside of Canada. When these holidays come up, I do my best to maintain my own space, and I'm getting much better at it. And it still comes up for me that, I feel this kind of like emotional space. Oh, I wish I was with my family, or I wish I would have the opportunity to be with everybody. So, and for me, a big piece is when I'm feeling that kind of emotional space, I also have an emotional component of eating that has habitually been with me since the beginning of eating in my life. But also now I'm navigating it better. Like I said, from the last episode of Tasty Tuesday, I did talk about some of the tips that I have to navigate through that. And also I really managed on Sunday, particularly Easter Sunday, to get off the charts of any eating track that I have or maintaining. But I did it because I knew that was the best way to serve me through this day that I would usually be spending with family and loved ones and having a big, beautiful feast in front of me. So I had the food that I didn't, first of all, let's go back a sec. I didn't make a big food festival traditional dishes. I just didn't feel like it. I didn't want to do it for myself, and I didn't want to do it for my husband. I said, no, I'm going to make other regular food that I feel is available and serves us and supports us, but I didn't feel like making any traditional things this year. Sometimes I do. I'll make usually my favorite wild rice dish, but I thought, I just didn't feel like it. Everything was, like I say, kind of scrambled up and rambled in our schedule anyways, and I thought, I don't want the extra stress to do that kind of dish right now. Not that it's that difficult, but it still takes and requires extra time, right? So I decided, there was a couple options actually that I had on Sunday to go to a barbecue with my husband. He was going with his friends to round off or close off the snowboard season. And I gracefully declined that invitation. I said, that's not really for me. Doesn't really resonate with me right today, or generally not so often anymore, because of the foods that they are grilling all the time, lots of heavy meats and all these kinds of things, and lots of beer drinking, these kinds of practices I don't really don't really do on a regular basis anymore, or at all, actually, those two things. So I said, no, you know what, you can go, you have an amazing time, and I'm going to find something else to do. Another friend said, why don't you come with me? I'm going, we're meeting all of our friends, we're getting together, and they're also foreigners here in Germany, so they, always get together. And that's where, when you live abroad, if you've ever lived abroad, you'll know that friends are like your family specifically, because that's how we have to feel supported and feel connected, through our friendships. And I was grateful for the invitation, but I decided also, you know what, it's not for me also. I don't feel like that's where I want to be spending my time. It doesn't really serve me. So I decided I want to go for a hike, because that's something I've been wanting to do already for a while and just been not able to commit to that recently. I'm going to go for a hike with my dog in the nearby mountain here, just around the corner, around the lake corner. And it's a beautiful place. I don't have to go far, and I enjoy it and I love it. So that's what I decided to do. I took a little packed lunch for myself. As I mentioned in the breakfast episode of Tasty Tuesdays, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it there. My breakfast is the one thing that I do my best not to compromise on. That's what I get my biggest nutritional benefit from the day. If all the other things in the day are mixed up, at least I can have a solid breakfast that's going to help carry me through. So I made sure I had my breakfast always. And then I packed my lunch, and what I had actually at home was some Easter bread, which again, it's not something I normally have. It was Easter bread. It comes only at Easter time. So I had a couple pieces of that left over. So I put some vegan butter on there, a healthier butter alternative actually. And I put on some of my black salt, and I put it in a little container and took it with me to the mountain. And so that was kind of like my lunch. I don't need much when I'm out on the mountain. You don't want a big meal because it's heavy. After you start moving again, it's hard to move too much if you've eaten too much. So I had a couple pieces of those bread. It was really good. Not particularly nutritional, not nutritionally sound at all, not in alignment with traditional Chinese medicine nutrition that I teach, not at all. But I'm here to tell you this because I'm being honest with you where things were at for me and how I navigated through that time and how I'm still navigating through it. And after that, I got home and now I'm hungry by the time I got home, finished the hike and all that. But I was like, I don't really feel like doing anything. I don't want to cook a big meal. And I actually had a bag of roasted chickpea chips or something like this, like a snack, really a snack food, but more towards the healthier side of snacks. If there is a healthier side, it was on that way. So I was sitting out in the sun. It was a beautiful afternoon by that time, late afternoon. And I was eating these chips and eating them. And I think I finished the whole bag. It wasn't a big bag. In Germany, they do generally quite small bags for these kinds of things. And that's it. Regardless, I ate the whole thing, not all like shoving in, but I did, and I enjoyed it. And I said, okay, fine. That was a good protein source at least, right? Because it's chickpea based. And then after I was like, oh, what else do I feel like? And I had a little snack in the kitchen. I think I had like a piece of bread with peanut butter. Again, if you think about all the things that I've now mentioned, this was like bread, carbohydrates. The butter is high in fat. Again, we need these things, but we need to have the right sources in the right amounts. And then I had this bag of baked chickpea chips or roasted chickpea chips kind of thing. This would be a carbohydrate high, but also it's a protein source high, but it's still not really the best source. And then I also said, you know what? I was planning to make strawberry mousse or I don't want to say cheesecake because I wasn't doing it with actually cheese. It was going to be some kind of alternative recipe with soft tofu and strawberries. So kind of like a strawberry pudding, something like this. I was going to make something like that, and I hadn't, but I knew my ingredients were getting ready to expire. So I let those warm up on the countertop because I don't like eating tofu and strawberries cold. As in TCM, we really talk about the cold or cooling and warming properties of foods, temperature-wise, but also the foods. And I'm doing my best to avoid temperature cold and cold property foods because it doesn't serve my body on its healing journey. So I let them warm up to room temperature a little bit, put them in the blender, added a few things in it. And basically it was a tofu base with minimal sugar because the strawberries are in there that have the natural sugar. And it's basically a dessert, a protein-rich dessert, but I ate that for my supper. And I was perfectly satisfied. And I said, I don't care. I know that I didn't eat any vegetables today or barely. I don't even know what I had. What did I have in breakfast? A few vegetables. Maybe there was in my breakfast porridge. I don't remember exactly. But let's just say realistically, I think I had no vegetables that day. And now that is not an acceptable, or that's not a reasonable way to be eating on a regular basis. But I said, you know what? That's what I feel like eating today. And it's Easter, and I'm going to treat myself, and I'm going to allow myself to do this fully and completely. And I did, and I enjoyed every bite of it. Hi, Francesca. Nice to see you. Happy Easter. I know you have a nice long Easter weekend in the Philippines. Nice to see you. Hope you enjoyed. So yeah, I'm just going over some of the things that I ate on Easter Sunday particularly, and how technically, I don't want to say bad, because I allowed it. I knew what I was doing. I went in saying, these are reasons that I want to eat these foods because they make me feel better emotionally, internally. I'm not eating it every day, but I wanted to do it on that time specifically, and I felt good about it, and it tasted good. And that was fine. And the next day I went back the best that I could to eating more regularly, incorporating more vegetables, and doing a better healthy balance. So that's my story in a nutshell. I'm not coming to you here to say every day you need to be doing all these things. No, because we have things in our life that will potentially, I don't want to say throw us off, but kind of throw us off, or they make us have different routines and schedules. So we need to think about that. How are we doing things and what are we doing? So I ask you now again, when you do these kinds of things, are you cheating yourself or treating yourself? And if we think about a cheat would be, specifically, if you are on a strict diet or lifestyle change that is there to help you remove cancer from your life, for example, or if you have a weight problem that is affecting your health negatively, then you are going to want to be more strict or devoted to your health journey. It doesn't mean you can never have a piece of cake. It doesn't mean you can never have a day like I just described to you on my Easter Sunday meals, because you still can. But the key is, if you eat that way, how mindful are you to say, or after you eat it, that you're not guilty? You don't feel that guilt and shame. Because if you are consuming these kinds of things and later you still feel that guilt and shame, and you're still looking at your body and saying, oh, I hate this, I hate that, ugh, these don't fit that way. You made the choices, now you have the consequences. If you make those choices, remove the guilt and shame and do so consciously as best to your ability, because that's how you can move forward. And the next day, the next week, you can say, okay, now I'm ready to be able to do the things that I really want and that really serve me. So when we talk about cheating, it's kind of more like, okay, I'm really on this strict diet, I'm going to do all these things. And then it's like, yeah, I'm going to do that, but I'm just going to do this over here and nobody's watching. That's a big thing, because that's a big thing that I've dealt with my whole life as well. If nobody sees me, well, then I didn't really commit the crime, right? Yeah, right. Who needs to know the truth is in here and what goes on in here. Nobody else really cares if you ate the whole box of chocolates or the whole bag of cookies or whatever it was. It's only for you. So if you do those things, is it really, okay, this is a treat for me today because I'm having a hard day, or because it's, an emotional space for me. I'm not able to be with my family right now, or maybe I'm on holidays, whatever the opportunity or the reason is for you. That's where we can make a difference of if it's a cheat. Like I said, are you doing it behind everyone's back? Because actually the biggest one you're cheating is yourself. Or are you treating yourself and allowing yourself to consciously have whatever food it is that serves you for whatever reason? And that's the next question you can ask yourself. How does it serve me? Are you cheating or treating? And how does it serve me? If you are on the cheating side of things and you're doing things behind people's backs, eating those cookies, having that, those drinks and those things that you feel like are bad for you, or you've been told are bad, or you know that they're bad, and then you think, how does that serve me? I don't know. That's a good question. Is it still serving you to have those things, again, with that guilt? And if you have the guilt, we can look deeper at what's really underlying. Why do I keep going back to this? Why does this keep reoccurring for me? Why am I continuing to still have this guilty feeling? It's really powerful when we can start to look deeper and start to untangle the mud and the mess. And then we can say, actually, I want those foods because emotionally inside of me, something is hurting, something's missing, something feels sad. And that helps me to get by. Okay? And then we can take the next steps. So how does it serve me is a really cool question that I like to ask also as well. And like I say, if the answer is as simple as, this serves me because I'm an emotional wreck right now, then fine. But again, consciously, if we're an emotional wreck and that's our excuse every day, then there's also an opportunity to look for more healing that could help to enhance your life in the long run. Because running through that same cycle of this serves me because I'm an emotional wreck, and that's what Lori said, and I'm going to keep eating this because I'm an emotional wreck, then we have some other things that we can look at, because we can dig to that. We can clean out that garbage and move forward, really. So you can do things that really serve you and your body in the most and best way. So just a recap from last week: allow yourself, without the guilt, to have the treat. And you can, again, take a look at last week's episode. I mentioned about how to navigate when we're moving into the holidays. And now after the holidays, so now that you've done it, how do you get back on track? How do we get back on that track? Even if there is a track, that health track or that healthy space, or I don't know, what is on track for you? That's an interesting question. But how do you get back? If you know that, okay, I ate too much bread this last weekend, I feel bloated, I feel it everywhere, I'm retaining that. Now, how do I get back on track? What's the best steps? I will suggest, same like I did in last week's video or last week's episode, go back to your why. That's the base foundation. What is your reason why you want to be doing this? Why do you want to make these changes in your life? Anything is valid. Is it because you want to be pain-free? You want to prevent disease? You want to lose weight? You want to be able to have fun with your children? You want to be able to enjoy your grandchildren? Might not even be born yet, but you want to enjoy the next generations to come and to be able to be with them. There is a plethora of reasons, and you can have all of the reasons. But what is your why, or whys, plural, and know those in the core of your being. Sometimes if we have like a list of 20 whys, it's almost like it's a little bit too intense. I would suggest just that, writing down your whys, and even picking out of that, if you have a lot, pick your top 3. What are the most potent ones that you can come back to that will help to get you back on the track that will benefit your life in the long run? And that is something that only you know and only you can find and devote yourself to, because those are specific to you. I can't tell you that information. So I know my whys because I feel better every day when I eat a proper breakfast, proper lunch, and a proper dinner in the evening. I feel better every day. My clothes fit me better. My body moves better. My pain is less. Also, I have a healing journey that I've been on now for 12 years that is specific pain in my lower abdomen or my womb space. And it is better when I do better things for my body. And it's not exactly direct cause and effect. If I, for example, eat a chocolate bar, it's not like I directly get pain, but I know that when I continuously make healthier choices and devote myself to those, that the pain that I have on a monthly basis is actually decreasing, and I have better management of it. So there's the different reasons why we all want to do these things. So finding your why is really, really, really potent groundwork foundation for this. Okay. Let me know if you're here. Say hi. I'd love to hear from you. How is this information resonating with you? Does it land at all? Do you feel it? How is it? Let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. And also, if you need any questions, any clarification, by all means, you can comment in the video here. I will come back to see the comments if you are watching on replay. But also, you can send me a private message if you feel like you'd rather ask me in private and you don't want it to be something that everybody gets to see. Although, no question is a stupid question, and most likely, if there's a question you have, someone else also might have it too. That's very common. So when we put questions or put information out there, we often help other people as well, not only ourselves. So it's really a collective, supportive space. So one other tip that I have for you today is, so now we know we want to get to that reason why. And then when we have our reason why, it can still be like, okay, so I know my reason, but now what? I still want to eat the chocolate. I still want to eat the bag of chips. How, because it's like sometimes the reason gets us, we have to do these day-to-day steps, but to get to that farther point, sometimes it's like we don't see that this bag of chips here and this, drinks here and this other food, pieces of cake here affect the results on the end. So one tip that we can use to get us in a flowing state with more ease to our desired results is with affirmations, positive affirmations or mantras. And these positive affirmations, I often refer to I use either one of those words, affirmations or mantras. They help us to just that affirm. When we say them out loud or we say them in our head, it's affirming why we want to do what we do. So again, if we had our list of all the whys and we picked the top 3, and now we can tweak it a little bit, or potentially it's already written in an affirmation form, but anyways, we can use those whys as affirmations. So an example can be, I make healthy choices. That's an affirmation because that means you're doing it now and it is getting you to the results that you want in a continuous motion. So one thing is we have to be careful when we have potential affirmations, because we want to do it in the best way that it will be serving us as though it is already in place and already having its purpose within us. So as I just mentioned, I make healthy choices. So that means it's basically ongoing and I'm doing it continuously, as opposed to I will make healthy choices. Do you see the difference? The word will means it's a future. It's something I'm going to do, but it doesn't mean I'm doing it now. So we want to have positive affirmations that ground us in to our why here and now in the present time. Another one is, I do what serves my body. I do what serves my body. Or it could be everything I do serves my body. And these kinds of things, when we start to repeat them more and more, we start to act in a way that is in alignment with them. We start to do things that are alignment with them. So I make healthy choices. And we are doing things that make healthy choices. And all of a sudden we go back to grab that bag of chips and it's like, I make healthy choices. And we can look at that chips and it's like, is this a healthy choice? Maybe right now it is, like I say, maybe it's a treat for yourself, but maybe it's not the healthiest choice right now. I'm going to put those back on the shelf. I'm going to let someone else buy them. Don't even buy them from the supermarket. That's another trick. But you know what? I think you get what I mean. Let me know, have you ever used affirmations and have they worked for you? I personally do use them. I like to have I don't necessarily use them really rigorously and say I have to repeat them every morning, 10 times in the morning. There is different methods to go about them, but I like to just have kind of like almost like a ammunition, and although I don't like that word because it seems like we're fighting or it's something negative, but kind of like a pocket or a bag full of all my affirmations that I kind of just keep recycling and reusing. So I continuously remind myself, because they are connecting to my whys of what I want to do. I remind myself, oh, I want to do this because I want to follow my heart. I want to do what serves my body. I want to do what, I love myself. All these different things connect to doing or committing to being devoted to the healthy choices that we want to make in the long run and on a continuous basis. And now I know it's not always necessarily easy to maintain health and weight management goals. I've been there and I am absolutely fully aware, 110%, how challenging it can be. And like a New Year's resolution, we've all been there, I'm sure, where we set these New Year's resolutions. And how long does a resolution last? Do you commit it till the end? Does it last 1 month? Does it last 2 weeks, 1 week? Depends what the resolution is, but usually they don't follow through so well. So when we have support, keyword here, support, we actually have better results for the things that we want. Now, of course, we can go about doing things in our own time and space, but when we have a supportive network or supportive people in our lives that want us to get the best results, we have opportunities to be more successful. Because it's like having your own cheerleading squad, or your own like group of people like, yeah, go, go, go. And I know we can have friends and family, but let's be realistic. Lots of times there can be family and friends in our life that maybe don't believe in the things that we're doing. Maybe they don't really support us. Maybe they don't, opposite, like not support us. Maybe they're not like saying you shouldn't be doing that. Maybe they're not like pointing the finger and telling us that we're wrong, but they're not actively supporting us either. And it's common that we actually, or it's not common, it's proven that we will get better results when we have support. When we have a supportive community and network that is there for us, it will help us, absolutely. And some of the things that you can get out of having a support, it aids in your success, which I already mentioned. It improves your ability to cope with stressful situations, alleviates emotional distress. So like already those 3 things that I just listed, but I have even more. Promotes mental health. These are all things that we get when we have a supportive community, a supportive network, supportive people that are there and want us to genuinely see our success. It enhances self-esteem, lowers blood pressure and cardiovascular diseases. Absolutely. Because we don't feel so much stress, which we talked about in some of the other points already. When we have less stress in our life in general, there's less stress on our heart, less anxiety. We feel better about ourselves. And it promotes healthy lifestyle behaviors, absolutely, because we feel better about ourselves. We want to do better, make better choices, and we are encouraged to do that through that supportive network, and it naturally comes into our own space. So I feel really amazing to have this opportunity to speak here with you, to be with everybody, and to share my support for you when I do these Tasty Tuesday episodes. I'm really here to support you on your journey, to help you get the results that you want. And through all the healing work that I've done over the last, predominantly 12 years, I have curated an amazing program called Nutritional Empowered Transformations. And the next round of the program is going to be from July 4th to September 21st. So it's 3 months. And actually, if you look at the dates, it's just over 3 months, how it works out. We have a total of 3 modules that we go over in that time frame. So each month is a different module. There's 9 group coaching calls. So we have 3 calls each month as well, where we have question and answer and go through all the theory and go through information, and you learn through the steps. The first module is the TCM foundation, the second one is life force enhancement, and the third one is creative application. And through that time frame, you learn the tools, and you will walk away after those 3 months with the tools in your back pocket, how to live an amazing life, how to reach your weight loss and your health goals. And even through those 3 months, you will absolutely, if you are putting the things in practice that we are doing, you will absolutely see your results coming into fruition already. I mentioned in one of my other episodes that when I started doing this, really implementing TCM nutrition into my life, within 3 weeks, I started noticing health changes in my life. I had really horrible fatigue throughout the day and rashes on my body, and I was really not in a good state physically. And within 3 weeks, I was like, whoa, I don't need a nap anymore. I don't need that. I was like completely shifting out of that space already. Of course, it's an ongoing journey, but by 3 months, you will have these amazing tools in your back pocket, and you will walk away with the results already on the right track, and absolutely available for you to continue for your lifelong journey of being on this planet, being happy and being healthy, expanding your potential, embracing your life, and fulfilling your dreams. Like, who doesn't want those results? I don't know. And if you do want those results, I am inviting you to sign up for the wait list that is currently available and currently open, I should say. And the wait list for the program, by coming onto that wait list, you will receive a €500 voucher off of the next round in the program. Yes, I know, exciting. Who doesn't want to get a discount, right? I sure do. I did that with my last coach as well that I signed up for. And it's really cool. It feels really good to get that kind of offer. The offer's not going to be available until the course starts. So do get on the wait list if it's something that resonates with you and is interesting for you. You will also, at the end of this program, and even throughout the program, because I'm there to support you throughout the whole time, you will feel a different sense of devotion within you and commitment to moving towards your goals and to getting your goals in sight and on track. And the journey that I've been through and been on and still continue to be on is absolutely accessible to you. And it is available for you, and I want you to take the step if you feel it calling to you, because it is an amazing opportunity for you to take your power back, enhance your life. You can absolutely do this, not a doubt in my mind. And if you're unsure, if you don't know if you can take the time for yourself or what it actually is the commitment required and how is this going to work, if you have all these different kind of questions, feel free to send me a message. We can set up a clarity call. It's free. We're just going to chat about whatever questions you have. And if you, like I say, if you just want more information from me, I can give that to you as well. Or if you want to put your issues on the table and say, will this help me? We can talk about it. Absolutely. Let's do it. I'm so grateful that you are here today. I wish that you have a beautiful rest of your day and your week. Thank you for taking the time to view this. You can contact me on Facebook if you're in our Facebook group viewing this now, or you can send me a private message on there. You can send me an email at ninalaurie@easternbalance.org. You could also contact me on WhatsApp if you are if you know that my number. You can definitely send me a message on there. You can also find me on YouTube as well, just searching my name, Laurie Voss Furukawa, and find any of the videos that I've already been able to support you with. And I would love to hear from you. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for taking this time for yourself. And remember, moving away from the cheating yourself and go towards treating yourself. But even in that space, be mindful that you're not treating yourself every afternoon, for example, with that cake and coffee, because if we're doing something like that on a regular basis, we're going to potentially see negative side effects as well. So always being mindful. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I will be here next week and wishing you all the best. Thank you again. Bye-bye for now.